Welcome back. We're now going to learn a little bit about the system management of the software. The software has what's called a system manager. The system manager controls every aspect of this software. In every module we have a maintain files function. The maintain files is when you're going to add a new record or delete a record or modify a record. You would do it through your maintain files. So when you go into the system and you're ready to start your company, you would go to maintain files and you would choose company entry. Under company entry, you would enter the company that you are setting up. We're going to go ahead and do Leichenwolf here. And you would fill in all of the information about your company. One thing to make sure that you fill in is, one, your UPC code, because the system has a UPC generator built into it. You also want to make sure that you choose to record all events. What that does is in our activity log, it records every single keystroke that an employee performs. This helps in managing any kind of errors or error tracking. If you have data errors, I can go in and fix it. I can identify what the error is and fix it pretty quickly. The installation over here tells you which modules you have. Everything on the right are modules that you've purchased. Modules on the left are modules you have not purchased. And even if you try to move one of these over there, if your license number doesn't allow it, you can move it to your heart's content. It won't show up on your menu. You can't, unlike other software programs that are out there, you can't cheat on this one. Event logging, this is where you would identify what you're going to log, what components. I personally mark everything, and the reason is I believe the more information, the better the management. Back to our maintain files. Under system preferences, there's really not a whole lot of things to do here. Multi-session, this allows you to open Golden Accounting on a workstation multiple times. So if for instance you do a lot of work in the report writer, and you also want to keep that open all the time, and you also want to be able to do regular data entry, you might have two sessions running. Because with only one session, you won't be able to run the report writer. That's really all you do in that module. Let's see what else. That's about it. To create a new user, click on user entry. Enter your company code, Raj. And these are the users that are already set up. We have Jeff and supervisor. That's it. So let's set up Jeff 2. What's your full name, Jeff?
Jeff.
Jeff what?
L-E-I.
No. You're Jeff L also?
Yeah.
J-L? Get out.
Yep.
Are you really?
Yep.
Makes it confusing on the golf course.
So you'll be JL2.
There you go.
JL2. And the spelling of your name is Jeff L
E-I-N-E-N.
E-N. Lehman? Okay. And what is your email address here at this company?
No idea.
You don't have an email address?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It's on
somebody
your
might
card.
Oh, the JD Import address? Sales@jdimport.com. No S on the JD Import.
Like that? Okay. At this point, when you're setting up a new user, if you don't want him to have access to accounts payable, you would click this and move it. And he would no longer have access to accounts payable. I don't know what you want to have him have access to.
General ledger.
Well, general ledger you have to have access to if you're going to do any posting, but you can limit within. We'll get into that in a minute.
Okay.
So let's see.
He's got full capability.
Okay. So at this point, we would go over here to program access and say, okay, well, for general ledger, I don't want you to be able to, and this is alphabetic, I don't want you to be able to change my budgets, no access, do a budget report. I don't want you to be able to do an end of period, no access. I wouldn't want you to be able to get to the utilities, and I don't want you to be able to run a financial report or a general ledger report. So I would take all of this away so that you couldn't do that, and that would probably be just fine. Let's go.
Limit the error possibility.
Exactly. So, no access to that. That's how you would, but you would, with a regular employee, a clerical person, you can now see what you can and cannot do. Over here where it says taskbar, if I wanted to predetermine what your icons would be, I could put a check mark there, and that's what icon would show up. Okay? Any questions on that?
No.
Okay, then we go to the user preference tab, and the one thing we want to always do is we want to be able to, I'm caught up in a cable, hang on. We want to be able to make sure that the system remembers the last place you positioned a window. If you had large monitors, like a lot of my customers are going to the 19-inch flat panel monitors now. And the reason for that is on a 19-inch monitor, you can put a sales order window here and a customer entry window here, all on the same screen and have them all open. And when you go back into the software, the system will remember where you last left it and the size you left it at. Remembering grid settings. Grid settings are, when you're in the software, and we'll get into that in a minute, you can rearrange the columns of where they sit on the screen. This does not affect printing, but it will remember that for this user and this user only. I don't actually know why we're supposed to click this, but the programmer says click it, so I click it. I don't exactly know what it means. So, that's really all that you do here. Now, we do have a little chat program in the company, and that's like a little instant messaging thing that you can load and actually send messages to people within the network if you want to do that, but it will tend to slow your system down a little bit. So, this is small enough that we don't have to worry about that. Then you would set up the email settings. I'm assuming you're on a MAPI system, so there's not a whole lot you have to do there. Always send a blind carbon copy to yourself. So I always like to copy, paste, and then this would be your signature line. Jeff, what? Again. Oh, I have it right on top of L-E-I-N-I-N-E-N. And you're the sales manager?
Sure, why not?
What are you?
National Sales Manager.
I'll send so much more important to that.
Okay? And if you wanted to put your personal cell phone, if that's what you want to reveal, you would put that there as well. And with that being said, this user is now set up. I can click here. If I had a lot to set up, I could hit clear and save up here, and it would automatically clear this template and let me go to the next one. If I just hit the save right here, it saves the data but leaves the template up. If I use my little red X here and exit, it's saved and gone. Okay, any questions on setting up a new user?
No.
Okay.
Can you also click on the little magnifying glass and just set up a new one? Oh, that plus sign, I mean? Isn't there a little plus sign?
No, there's no plus sign on that one.
Oh, okay.
Not on the users.
Oh,
There are reports here that give you listings of user lists that show you what their rights are, and also import lists, but you don't have the importer, so you don't have to worry about that. Activity log. The activity log is where all of those events get logged, like I showed you. So if I look here, I can see here that I was in here, I set up in Raj JL2, and I am the supervisor, so I know that I'm the one that set that up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like for instance, we know there's a problem with the container tracker. So by looking down here, I was able to tell the error and what exactly was wrong, be able to tell the programmer, and he's able to tell me that this file is missing holidays, because it's going to automatically calculate if you tell it 5 business days from, the Friday before 4th of July weekend, or Labor Day, it's going to add 3 extra days to it. Okay? Any questions on that?
No.
Okay. That's really all that you would do in the System Manager. Workflow is a project manager that comes with this, and that's a timeline project management system that allows you, let's say for instance you're doing product development and you want this much to go, you've assigned projects. I don't have anybody that uses it because I don't know how to use it myself, but that's what that's designed for. It's a workflow manager. Okay? Any questions on the System Manager?
No.
Okay, then we're going to go ahead and close that off.